Second varna, kshatri. Kshatri means king. It's the arms of the body. These used to be generals, kshatris, kings, who are very righteous, and they're bringing the justice to the society. Most of the time, these people could be even brutal and mean sometimes, but in order to bring justice. Sometimes these are the CEOs of the company, sometimes these are the managers, sometimes these are the soldiers who have the higher rank. And if this person comes and say, no, we're not going to be friends with you anymore, because they understand that this is the bad apple, and everybody will listen and everybody will follow. Both of these varnas, the first one is Brahman teacher, will always have students and will always have followers, and people will listen to them because they have something to teach you. Second one will always have followers because they're leading. They have to be the rulers of the country. And sometimes they have to punish somebody, and it might not sound or look good, but they have to do it for the greater good of the society. Third one is Vaishi. Vaishi, these are the businessmen, businesswomen. They're the ones who are very sneaky. They will always have money, but you will not know how they're making money. But they can they can even sell the sand to people who live on the beach. They're that good. No matter what, they can easily sell and they can make money. This is the stomach of the society. They're responsible for the economy. This is Donald Trump, Disney World. This is people who are very good with negotiation and making money and creating businesses out of the blue. Now, if these people are not donating big chunks of their money to a goodwill of people, in the next life they're going to face a really bad karma being born into a very poor family because they were greedy. The fourth one is Shudra. Now, this is, if Kshatri is 3 to 5% of the people, Vaishi is 10% of the people, Shudra is everyone else. Approximately 80% of people on our planet are Shudras. These are singers, these are artists, these are carpenters, these are doctors, these are nurses, these are lawyers. Basically, they're here to help others. That's their main duty. Help others through art, through music, through medicine, through law, police officers, firefighters. These are all Shudras. Now, why is this important to understand? What Varna you're born to? Why is it important?
Because it leads to a clear understanding of your purpose.
Absolutely. So now going back to me, here I am in my mid-30s, understanding that for over 15 years, I'm working as a clinical hypnotherapist, as a life coach, as a counselor, and then I'm doing the work of a Shudra. And the only thing that fulfills me in my sessions is when I'm bringing the education. And that means I am not Shudra, that I'm Brahman. And I had to revisit my whole purpose of that I was living in a Varna that is not mine. Because Shudras are about helping others. And that's why I was feeling like a squeezed lemon going home. Yes, I'm helping my clients, but I'm exhausted. I'm tired. But the moment I'm bringing the education to them, I'm coming alive. But in our modern days, people are thinking, why should I be a teacher? Because teacher is not making money. Let me be a psychologist, or let me be a lawyer or a doctor. And the moment we lie ourselves and we're moving into the Varna that is not ours, we're going to experience emptiness, exhaustion, stress, unfulfillment, anxiety, depression, because we're doing something that doesn't belong to us. Now, we have all of the elements in us, in some, But the major one, I realized that I'm a Brahman. I'm a teacher. And I can teach for hours and it's not going to feel like I'm working because it's my natural Varna. And Vedas are explaining that if a teacher is giving you theory, it's very cheap. But once a teacher experienced enlightenment and transformation and gives you the knowledge, it's already a transformational knowledge. That is a true Vedic knowledge. So I'm not giving you theory, I'm giving you piece of me. And that's what makes it Ayurvedic knowledge, transformational knowledge. For example, I'm experiencing one ache in my body. I cannot lead yoga. It would be inauthentic. Right now, Gabriella has a little cold. In her body, she cannot lead yoga. It would be violation of her and also you, because she won't be able to give you this transformational knowledge. I cannot give the knowledge of happy family, harmonious relationship, if my relationship with husband and son and my parents is not working. It would be a lie. But we see a lot of coaches who are single or who have broken marriage and they're talking about femininity and happy relationship. It's a lie. They won't be able to give that to you because they haven't experienced the liberation, enlightenment, and awakening in that. And Ayurveda is about that. Once you're enlightened in something, it's your duty to teach others. And as you are growing, I am growing as well. I'm actually getting much more out of the sessions than you, because the more I give, the more I grow. The teacher wouldn't be a teacher without the students. And so that's why it's my honor to be with you, because you're giving me the voice to be who I am. Yeah. But this conversation is for you to start discovering what is your Varna, what is your purpose. Keeping in mind that is, again, your first duty is being a wife and being a mother. I cannot teach if I haven't fed my husband and I haven't fed my son and if I haven't had given my love to them. I can do this afterwards, but not violating them. But in the modern days, we wake up, we get a coffee, and we run to do what? Yes, and this is the biggest violation to ourselves and our loved ones. Because our love belongs to us. We gotta keep always 20%. So I meditated, I prayed in the morning. I'm keeping 20% love to myself. I'm keeping 30% love to my family. And then I can start sharing a little bit here and a little bit there, a little bit everywhere. And sometimes when my son is moody because he was going to public school for a year and a half, I had to preserve 50 to 60% love to him and then start giving to everyone else. But the moment we as a women go to work, it's automatically on autopilot. We give 90% to work. And this is the biggest violation of ourselves. And then the husband is empty, and kids are empty, and we are empty. You will not be fulfilled with love that you want, if you're not meditating or having affirmation. Because you grew up with mother who was working, father was working, and instead of getting the love, you were getting abandonment in daycare and with your babysitters. So now at the most you have 10% of love. And you go to work, you gave this 10%, and you're not giving 10%, you're giving still 20 or 30% because boss is demanding you to perform. And so you're coming home with minus 20. And minus 20 goes to food and alcohol. And so now I would like for you to start getting connected to what is your Varna. If you're really authentic, that I thought I was Shudra, I didn't even know about Shudra and Kshatris and Vaishya and Brahman. But once I start discovering it, I understand I'm not helper, I'm a teacher. Very scary space to acknowledge that I built the house of cards not honoring myself and who I am. And I had to start declaring that to my friends and my husband that it's going to be a matter of time that I'm going to close the practice because I'm violating myself. And I start working less and less and start teaching my clients more and more about spirituality in order to balance somehow myself and doing 50% of Brahman and 50% of Shudra, being a helper in a job, but at least start teaching. But what are you starting to discover now? What is your Varna?
You said that the Brahma's the head,
Yes,
the arm.
yes.
What would you say the business is?
Business is a stomach. They are responsible for the economy in a society, and Shudra are legs.
Like,
Yes,
okay.
by the way, Shudras are the healthiest people. They're physically fit, or they constantly want to do yoga, they want to do boxing, they want to do all kinds of activities, and their health usually doesn't deteriorate. Very seldom. My husband, Shudra, hardly ever gets sick. Hardly. People have COVID, flus, cold. My husband is healthy. Nothing ever catches him. Who do you think gets the sick most of the time? Brahmins. Head. Head is teachers. They're the closer to God. Shudras are further away. And by the way, Shudras are the ones who are resisting to get to spiritual knowledge the most. They're like, what? God, praying, meditation. That's why it took me 10 years to get my husband to get into spirituality. And we laugh sometimes. I'm like, oh, you my Shudra, I love you. And so Brahmins, they have the weakest body. And so that's why Brahmins should spend even more time to get in harmony with their body and do even more yoga or more running or eating more healthy, because we're the most vulnerable one. So who wants to share? What are you discovering? What is your Varna? Are you Shudra? Are you Vaishya? Are you Kshatri? Or are you Brahman? What is more natural to you?
You know, even before I stopped working, when I was a TV reporter, my health was just went by the wayside. And, you know, it's funny when you were talking about I was getting all of these accolades and, you know, I was working my dream job in my dream city at the time. And it just, my health was deteriorating. But one thing that I was doing that I felt like fulfilled me at that time was I started teaching on-camera performance and on-camera confidence. Every time I thought nobody would show up, and it was always a full class. Things that I started realizing at that time, I don't think I'm supposed to be a TV reporter anymore, one, but I never really thought that being some sort of teacher would like give me so much energy.